tile and steam. There are rooms we inherit and rooms we claim. The bathroom was never meant to be sacred. It was designed for function. Porcelain, tile, a mirror screwed into drywall, a fan that hummed like it was tired of secrets. There was nothing remarkable about it if you were just passing through. It was small, plain, and easy to overlook. But over time, it became the only room in my life that did not ask me to perform. Growing up, bathrooms were the first places I learned to disappear safely. At family gatherings, when the jokes tilted sharp and I could feel myself becoming the room's quiet target, I would slip away and lock the door. At school dances, when my body felt too visible and not visible enough at the same time, I would find my way to a bathroom stall and sit there long enough to collect myself. Later, in relationships where I was loved in theory but negotiated in practice, the bathroom became the one place where I did not have to explain my face before it changed. The bathroom had a lock. It was a small one, cheap metal, easy to twist. It did not look powerful. It did not look like protection, but it held back the whole world. I began to understand something about myself in those locked minutes. I noticed how quickly my shoulders dropped. When the door clicked shut behind me, I noticed how the air changed. I noticed how my breath grew louder, fuller, more honest, like it had been waiting for permission. In that narrow space, I did not have to be charming. I did not have to be patient, easygoing, or reasonable. I did not have to soften what I was feeling to make it easier for somebody else to be near. I could be loud if I needed to. I could cry without managing the volume. I could stare at my reflection and not arrange my face into something more acceptable. There is something about tile that does not flinch. It just holds what happens. The mirror in my bathroom has seen versions of me no one else has. It has seen the boy who tried to scrub softness out of his wrists. It has seen the young man who practiced lowering his laugh until it sounded less like joy and more like control. It has seen the grown version of me come home from rooms where I had been tolerated, desired, used, misunderstood, celebrated, diminished, and almost loved. It has seen me after rejection, after almosts, after messages that said one thing and meant another, after intimacy that left me lonelier than solitude. I have stood at that sink and watched mascara bleed. I have watched disappointment swell behind my eyes. I have watched hope rearrange itself after another almost. I have watched my own face search for answers it was tired of pretending not to need. In the bathroom, I did not have to act like I was above heartbreak. I did not have to turn pain into wit before I was allowed to feel it. I could simply be devastated. I could be tired. I could be angry. I could be confused. The bathroom did not judge the reenactments either. There were many of them. I would act out conversations I wished I had been brave enough to finish. I would say the lines I should have said when somebody crossed a boundary, minimized me, or tried to rename my worth into something smaller. Sometimes I stood in front of the mirror and said, "I deserve more," until the words stopped sounding like rehearsal and started sounding like something close to truth. Sometimes I let my voice rise and bend the way it naturally wanted to, without flattening it into something more acceptable. Sometimes I let my hips move the way they wanted to move, the way they had been told not to, the way that felt like home, before shame interrupted. What happened in that room was not performance, it was reclamation. The world outside that door had rules. Speak, but not too much. Shine, but not too brightly. Want, but not too openly. Be desirable, but not demanding. Be proud, but not inconvenient. Be vulnerable, but only in ways that do not disturb anyone. In the bathroom, I rewrote those rules, at least for a few minutes at a time. After a shower, the steam would rise and blur the mirror. I liked that part most. I liked the way my reflection softened into shape and suggestion. In the fog, I was not boxed in by angles or expectations. I was not being sorted or judged. I was just there, breathing, becoming. The steam made everything gentler. It took the hard edges out of the room and out of me. Sometimes I would trace lines in the condensation with my finger. A heart, my name, a question mark, something simple to prove I was still there. Sometimes I would just stand still and listen to the water drip. Fear sounds different when it has nowhere to hide. In public, it dresses itself up. It becomes politeness, overthinking, perfectionism, caretaking, good humor, charm. In private, it speaks more plainly. It says things like, "You are too much. No one will stay if they see all of you. You need to be easier. You need to ask for less. You need to smile through it. You need to stop needing so much." In that small room, I learned to answer back. Too much for who? Stay at what cost? Easier for whom? I have cried on that tile more times than I can count. Not the polite crying you do in public bathrooms at work, where you blot under your eyes and practice looking normal again before you go back out. I mean the kind that folds you in half, the kind that makes your throat ache, the kind that leaves you sitting on the floor, staring at nothing, wondering how you mistook hunger for love again, wondering why being chosen can still feel so temporary, wondering why you keep offering tenderness to people who only know what to do with a performance. The bathroom held those sounds. It did not rush me. It did not ask me to get over it. It did not tell me to calm down, move on, be strong, think positive, or keep the peace. It let me be undone without turning that undoing into failure. Tears are strange things. In public, they can feel dangerous. They can feel like evidence. They can feel like a loss of control. In private, they can feel like cleansing, as if something heavy is finally being allowed to move through the body instead of living there rent-free. I used to think strength meant holding it together until no one could see the cracks. Now I know strength sometimes looks like locking the door and letting yourself fall apart on purpose. The sink has caught my shaking hands. The counter has held my weight when my knees felt unreliable. The shower has washed away not just sweat and soap, but guilt, shame, projection, and the residue of somebody else's confusion. There were nights after being someone's secret when I would stand under scalding water and whisper, "You are not a shadow," until my voice steadied. There were mornings after disappointment when I would look at myself in the mirror and try to decide whether I still believed in softness at all. The bathroom became the place where I could say my own name without flinching. Kabal. Not a nickname, not a version shaped for comfort, not a softened introduction, not a half step toward being easier to hold. Just mine. In that room, I have been both director and witness. I have scolded myself and forgiven myself. I have practiced speeches I would never give and gathered courage for ones I finally did. I have looked at my reflection with disgust. I have looked at it with pity. I have looked at it with awe. I have apologized to myself in that mirror. I have promised to protect myself better. I have broken those promises and made them again. It is a small room, but it contains multitudes. The lock is ordinary. The tile is chipped in one corner. The grout needs attention. The lighting is inconsistent. There is nothing grand about it. No stained glass, no choir, no pulpit, no ceremony. And yet it is where I have met myself most honestly. When I open the door again, the world rushes back in. Expectations, notifications, the low hum of other people's needs, the roles I know how to play without thinking, the voice I use when I need to sound fine, the smile that buys me time. But I step out differently than I entered. Piece by piece, I gather myself in there. I pick up the parts I have scattered throughout the day, the patience, the humor, the softness, the fire. I decide which ones I am carrying forward and which ones I am leaving in the drain. The bathroom is my temple, not because it is beautiful, but because it is the only place where I am fully seen by the one person who has to live with me. It asks for no costume. It accepts no curated version. It simply offers me a door, a lock, a mirror, and enough stillness to tell the truth. Each time I twist that small metal latch and then unlock it again, I am reminded of something simple and radical. I do not need a stage to be sacred. I do not need applause to be real. I do not need witness from a crowd to know what is true in me. Sometimes all it takes is tile, steam, and the courage to look at yourself without turning away.